Good afternoon from Europe, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and we are very close to US cash open, 1.5 minutes left. So we are going to check first 5-minute trading range when it comes to the Nasdaq. We are going to check if there is something we wanna do on the Nasdaq, right? I'm watching carefully on the gold, preparing to add into the short position, watching the dollar, especially euro dollar and the cable. Euro dollar is going down without quite good bounce, so I had a problem to join from the medium term perspective. Pound is doing what it's supposed to do, but it's retesting the support right now. All of this we are going to discuss within the next few minutes. First, we are going to check how Nasdaq is doing. So without further ado, let's go and check it. Alright guys, so where we are from higher time frame perspective, you know the blue line, we're trying to get back above. On the weekly chart, we've seen 2 rejections already. There is a possibility market is going to try to draw the swing high, right? We'll see. So it's very important to put that line, one of the line, the blue one, over here to see where we are. There you go. All right. So that's what we are going to monitor, also taking into the consideration the left side. We do know that we are testing very significant supply. The first minute already started, so let's switch to the 1-minute chart and let's have a look how this first 5-minute trading range is going to look like. Business as usual for us. Okay, there you go, and there you go. So it's a little bit, if I can say that way, a little bit warmer when it comes to the coronavirus. Some positive data out from the Europe. Overall, besides lower oil opening, there was positive sentiment towards the Asian hours, during the European hours, and probably is going to be here. But as I mentioned, important thing is where we are. So a little bit of the pullback would be good. So now let's get back to the daily chart. What kind of the pullback I would like to see? I would like to see, to be honest with you, over the course of the day, maybe tomorrow. So some kind of the failure here, right? Then I would like to see some kind of the pullback, stop count towards 7,500, 7,400, and from here I would like to see so this type of the combination eventually going going higher. Still, I don't think that this is the low. I think that at some point in the future we are going to make lower low. I think there are 2 more dips, and especially that we are approaching the earnings season. That's gonna be very important. But when it comes to the indices, very interesting from the intraday perspective. So that's what I'm gonna to look for. So in that case, let's switch to 30-minute chart, and if we can agree that was the late last week consolidation, right? So at the same time we see the 50% line is going to look like more or less like this, right? So 7,550, 7,400. That's what I'm gonna to look for, especially that right now on the 30-minute chart. You know, guys, you have to understand, some smart guys bought already into the Friday close, right? They bought already into the Friday close. So if we have almost 250, 300 points higher, right? You shouldn't be surprised that at least there are gonna be mild profit taking, if not something bigger, right? Also, I can see here attempt to build head and shoulders. So we will see how it's going to play out, and if that would play out the way I would like to have, then doubling that would bring us at least towards the top of that range, 7667. I do prefer mid 7550. Cannot rule it out as low as 7450. So we will see. I'm going to try to fight with that Nasdaq, and I do prefer longs on Nasdaq than on S&P. All right, I do prefer, but as of now, as you can see, profit taking is going on. I think more shorts are gonna be squeezed, but later. Those Friday guys, lucky bastards, they are taking the profits right now. All right, so doesn't look good. Still 30 seconds left, so we might see, you know, miracle move to the upside from here. But this first 5-minute trading range doesn't look good right now. Still a few seconds, so that's gonna be interested where we are. Looks like this Tokyo low gonna be targeted. So I'm going to make it like this, and switch to 1 and 5 minutes only. All right, so the close was almost the low, so it's quite wide. The first 5 minute range is quite wide, right? 780 high there. Looks like almost 50 points. Quite good one. Now let's have a look what we have. What is going to give us 3 times? Well, as you can see, guys, there is a possibility we are going to retest the range. If we are going just make 3x of the original first 5 minute trading range. For sure stops are gonna be taken, but there is a possibility that we are going to retest that even by tomorrow or Wednesday. We might try to close the gap. Now let's switch over to oil, because we have huge fireworks going on the oil right now. Basically huge rally, right? Partially short squeeze, partially some longs involved after the Trump. Then we know that there was supposed to be emergency OPEC meeting today, been postponed, so we gapped down at the open, as you can see, on oil. So we are inside the Friday range. It was supposed to be on Wednesday. Now the Russia said that because of the technical problem it's gonna be Thursday. So they are gonna be cut. They are going to try to stabilize the market, right? The thing is, they are gonna be lucky enough. So what I'm gonna to look for, I'm going to try to buy the dip today, tomorrow, and I'm going to try to take the profit around the Thursday, and then I'm going to look what is going on. But it could turn out to be by the rumors are the fact, right? So for now, what is going on? Our range been broken, right? The latest weakness of the market been tested, right? So that was the longs. Now, if we agree that that was the latest range on the market, right, with the stop count to the downside, if that was the latest range, we haven't tested the mid of that range, okay? That was not tested. So that's for further as a further reference. Now, what we have when it comes to the upside, I think more upside is possible. Let me show you what I'm talking about. What kind of the more upside we are talking about. We are talking about the levels towards 30 and above 30, right? We are talking about this zone, this base over here, right? Okay, so that's the possible target. So I don't like to chase the prices. I hate to chase the prices. So how I'm going to approach the oil, right? Well, as you can see, latest development is the size of this move, right? Size of this move, okay? Cool. Now, rejection, all right? Now the question is, if it's going to be this type of the rejection or this type of the rejection, right? Or simply the gap. So let's make few measures. So if it's going to be this type of the rejection, okay, so it's going to be like 26, and we are talking about just stop count when it comes to Asia low. I don't like it. The next one could be this rejection, which are going to be similar to what we already seen, all right? So meaning that if that's gonna be the case, wow, retest of the yellow zone, right? Retest of the yellow zone. So I'm going to make it easier. I'm going to take into the consideration latest range ahead of the break to the upside. I'm going to make the measure of 50%. So I'm looking to buy in between the top and here. So we are talking about the levels close to 24.40, 23.90. Somewhere here with the stop below 22.80 probably. One can argue it's white. Well, the huge volatility we have on the oil, that's one of the reasons, right? So from here I'm going to target retest of the high and then 30, maybe 30 plus level. That's how I see the oil. And then once we are at that high around the 30, then I'm going to look what is going on and if there is any kind of the selling opportunity. So that's how I see the oil, right guys? So we discussed Nasdaq, we discussed oil, not many changes when it comes to the currencies. We discussed many times. Dollar is strong. I'm going to get back with the currency update if there are any changes or if I have new plan. Guys, stay tuned. Stay home, stay safe, and try to avoid market traps. Have a good one.